gather you're currently teaching online, and in the current circumstances, it would be, I think, remiss to not mention that and spend a little bit of time talking about how that's affected you and how you're finding that.
Yes, we have gone to online learning, and this is now going into week 6 of online learning. We had 2 weeks where we were on spring break. So although we've been locked down for 8 weeks, we've been doing 6 weeks of online learning. And my students, all of our students at our school have one-to-one devices. So they either have an iPad or a MacBook. So they are very connected.
Great.
We use a learning management system, and it's been stressful. I think we've had similar experiences as other teachers
Sure.
around the world, but we're all figuring it out together. So.
Yeah. So it sounds like, at least on the technology side and a few other things, you had some of that in place already, I gather.
Yes, we had our learning management system up and running, but it wasn't used to deliver the content on a wide basis. Some
Okay.
teachers were using it, but not everyone. And we were using also other learning systems like Shobi, and teachers were doing things digitally, but not to the extent, obviously, that they're doing now.
Okay. And how about you? Has this been a big difference for you, the online teaching compared to what you were doing before, and how much tech were you using before?
I've always used a lot of tech.
Okay.
As an Apple Distinguished Educator, it's kind
Okay.
of my thing. And
Sure.
so I've delivered the course content through the learning management system for a long time, since September. So learning that and doing that was not a big difference for me.
Okay.
Using the tech, not difficult for me. However, rethinking how to teach in a crisis situation is absolutely new. And the
Sure.
things that were common sense to teaching from before
Yeah.
are not common sense anymore. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
it's
So
been hard.
obviously, yeah, yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. So obviously there's going to be big differences between the way you're teaching right now and the way you were teaching, before all this. But you say you've been doing this now for 6 weeks, sort of since the program was implemented. So what do you think you've developed within that 6 weeks? How do you think you're doing things differently now from when you first made the move to online? And obviously at that moment, it was a shock for you and a big change. But what have you developed and changed and improved within that 6 weeks, do you think?
I think I have improved in the amount of content that I'm delivering to the students,
Okay, yeah.
the expectations for the amount of coursework that we're going to be getting through. And I have increased the amount of interaction and the amount of student choice in what they're doing and how they're showing their learning.
Oh, that's
That
great.
has really changed. And once I got comfortable with the schedule of how my planning and rolling out of the course is different in online learning,
Mm-hmm.
the pacing
Mm-hmm.
is completely
Yeah,
different.
sure.
Once I got a hold of that, I believe that things are going more smoothly now,
Yeah.
and we're all just kind of calming down about
Yeah,
uh,
that's really good.
the frenzy.
Yeah,
So
that's really good. Yeah, I just started doing my course online for the first time. So for a while there, I was not really doing anything, and so I've just got into the online teaching. So I've only been doing it for just under a week now. So it's still very new for me. And yeah, the pacing has been a big. I knew it would be different, but quite how different has been a bit of a surprise. And yeah, like you, that's one of the big things I'm having to get to grips with, and relatively quickly, because it's a fairly short course that I'm running. So I want to try to get on top of that early on, so that the majority of the course can run as smoothly as I can. So yeah, pacing has been one of those kind of having to hit the ground running, and kind of I've had to change a lot to try and suit the pacing. Yeah.
yeah, I think that the mistake that I made early on was really racing down that road of trying. I was cautious, but I was still going down the road of trying with those synchronous live calls and
Right.
delivering long video content to the
Right.
students. And I needed to back way off of that.
Right.
That was not effective. But the
Yeah.
one thing I would say that was consistently effective and still remains so, and you can never go wrong with this, is the relationships and
Right.
maintaining the relationships with the students.